It just looked like a guy with a couple friends out having a good time to me.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're examining our picks for the times people were spotted on CCTV and security footage before mysteriously disappearing, with their whereabouts still unknown today. We'll explore who they were and what happened on that fateful day.
34 seconds later, a male was seen walking in the same direction.
Tiffany Whitten. As a child, Whitten aimed to be a veterinarian. However, that dream evaporated after she dropped out of school and had 2 children.
The young mother was last year at this Walmart. Then after that, it was like she simply disappeared into thin air.
Later, Whitten began thieving to fund her substance use. After a stint in jail and rehab, she met Ashley Cottle and began taking drugs again. In 2013, the couple was at Walmart in Marietta, Georgia in the early hours. After an argument and Cottle paid for some goods, a seemingly intoxicated Whitten was stopped by security for shoplifting. However, she left her handbag and flip-flops with the employees as she sprinted from the store, past Cottle and into the night.
I've done more work on this case than any other case that I've ever worked on.
Beyond a suspicious phone call to her half-brother in 2014, Whitten has not been seen since, and her social media accounts stopped posting.
It makes me angry because I can't imagine if I knew something about somebody's child who was missing, there's nothing, fear or anything else that would stop me from coming forward and telling what I know.
Timmothy Pitzen. In 2011, James Pitzen dropped off his son at a kindergarten in Aurora, Illinois.
You dropped Timothy off 7:45?
Yeah.
Did he say anything when he jumped out of the car?
Love you, Dad. See you later.
Shortly after, his mom, Amy Fry Pitzen, signed him out of school and took him to several resorts and leisure facilities. The following day, Pitzen and Fry Pitzen were spotted on CCTV at the Kalahari Resort in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. This was the last time the child was seen.
The security video on Friday at 10:10 a.m. shows Amy and Timothy leaving the Kalahari Resort. Timothy was wearing sneakers with flashing lights.
The next day, Fry Pitzen called various relatives to let them know they were okay. They could hear Pitzen in the background. After being spotted by herself on security cameras, Fry Pitzen took her own life at an inn in Rockford, Illinois. She left a note stating that her son would never be found, but was safe with people.
Do you envision the reunion?
Always. I've had since he was about this big. Just running up and give me a hug. And now we shake his hand.
Emma Filipoff. In the days leading up to her disappearance in 2012, Filipoff called her mom several times, changing her mind about whether to come home.
I just thought my instincts have been telling me right from day one that this is not just a momentary lapse of strength. I said there's something really, really wrong here.
Regardless, Shelley Filipoff got a flight and arrived at the women's shelter in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, where her daughter was staying. However, Filipoff had vanished hours before. She was seen walking barefoot outside a hotel, sparking the police to speak to her.
They asked her some fairly pointed questions about her well-being. Are you feeling depressed or sad? And she said no, she wasn't.
This was the last footage of Filipoff. Her vehicle, filled with her belongings, was soon located. In 2014, an unidentified man was seen destroying reward posters for Filipoff, claiming she was his girlfriend who ran away from her parents. However, known as Green Shirt Man, the police are still looking for him.
I, immediately had chills. I was so nervous and excited, and I thought, this is it. This is somebody who knows where Emma is.
Andrew Gosden. Living in Doncaster, England, Gosden was a gifted academic who won awards for his intellect and was expected to go far in life.
You kind of feel like, well, I've lost almost everything, and every single day feels like a battle.
With a 100% attendance, in 2007, the young teenager uncharacteristically skipped school. Instead, Gosden emptied his bank account and bought a one-way train ticket to London, refusing to get a return. He was seen exiting King's Cross Station on security footage.
These the last known images of Andrew Gosden on the day he disappeared in 2007.
Gosden had previously gone to London to visit relatives who lived in the city. However, this time, that wasn't the case.
If you give up hoping, it feels like the same as saying, I've just stopped loving you and I don't care anymore.
In 2021, the police arrested 2 men in connection with the teenager's disappearance. In 2023, after examining the suspect's devices, the men were released from investigation after the police determined they weren't involved. Sneha Ann Phillip. Born in India and raised in New York, Phillip was early into her medical career and married fellow Dr. Ron Lieberman in 2000.
The occasion proved to be beautifully unique as well, as both families incorporated aspects to their Jewish and Indian Christian heritages.
A year later, living in Manhattan, she went on a shopping trip, which was captured on CCTV. However, this was Phillip's last sighting. The following day, the attack on September 11th took place. Due to the devastation, it took a while for the police to investigate Phillip's disappearance. However, it was criticized by Lieberman and Phillip's relatives for inaccuracies and possible fabrication.
Lieberman protests the conclusion of his wife's investigation by the NYPD and argues she should remain an official victim of the 9/11 tragedy.
In 2008, after a petition by her husband and relatives, Phillip was officially declared a victim of the attack, with the theory that she may have tried helping people before losing her life.
When it came down to it, she loved people and wanted to lend her talents to keeping more people healthy and alive.
Steve Koecher. After working as a journalist, Koecher was struggling to find long-term employment as the recession hit in 2009.
It would have taken a lot, in my personal opinion, for him to have planned all this out to disappear and without a trace.
One day, he left his home in St. George, Utah, and went on a road trip for an unknown reason. Koecher was recorded on a property security camera leaving his car in a retirement community in Henderson, Nevada.
Minutes later, at the strike of noon, Stephen walks in and out of view. Where he is now is a mystery.
He then returned to his vehicle to collect an unidentified object, speculated to be a file, before walking away again and vanishing. For 2 days after, Koecher's cell phone pinged nearby towers before stopping. It was theorized by relatives of Susan Powell, who had gone missing a week before Koecher, that the two may have run away together. However, there's no evidence to support this.
If you're watching, there's always a spot here in this family for you, and it has never closed and it never will close.
Rebecca Coriam. After growing up in Chester, England, in 2010, Coriam landed a job as a crew member on the Disney Wonder cruise ship. In 2011, she returned to the vessel in Los Angeles, California after going home following her grandfather's passing. But when Coriam failed to appear for her shift, an investigation began.
The Coriams went aboard, where they were shown the security camera footage of Rebecca on the morning she vanished.
CCTV footage found her talking on the ship's internal phone, seemingly upset about something. After briefly telling another person she was fine, Coriam composed herself before walking away. No other recorded sighting of her has arisen.
Well, I asked the captain, I said, what do you think may have happened to Rebecca?
While it's theorized that Coriam fell overboard, there have been criticisms of Disney and the Bahamian police's investigation, leading to speculation that something criminal happened.
The Disney people want everyone to believe that a youth counselor can disappear. And they want you to believe, well, that was just a location of the ship that didn't have a closed-circuit television camera. It's preposterous.
In 2016, Coriam's family settled a lawsuit with Disney. Trevor Deely. Out on the town in Dublin, Ireland to enjoy the Office Christmas party in 2000, in the early hours, Deely returned to the Bank of Ireland asset management property, where he worked in the IT department. He briefly spoke to an unknown man dressed in black outside before he went in.
Trevor didn't make it home that night.
After making a note about tasks he needed to do, Deely left. He was last seen walking past another bank. While the men in black appeared to follow him, it was determined by the police speaking to him that it wasn't the same person outside Deely's workplace.
They are still working through this process, but the technology used to clean up the CCTV footage being shown today is one example of the kind of approach we were hoping for.
In 2017, a gang informant claimed Deely was the victim of a fatal attack. However, no evidence was found.
The search took 6 weeks, but unfortunately yielded no results.
And the case remains a mystery. Brian Shaffer. In 2006, Shaffer had dinner with his father Randy at a restaurant a month after his mother passed away.
So he went out that night and walked from his apartment with Clint over to a bar called the Ugly Tuna.
That night, He and his friends at Ohio State University went out to celebrate spring break by bar hopping. Yet during the night, the medical student couldn't be located.
So the question is, how does a body leave a building when you have so many surveillance cameras surrounding the place?
After missing phone calls and not arriving for a flight to Miami with his girlfriend, the police were called. CCTV footage showed Shaffer arriving at a bar with his friends.
When you actually see the video of him going up that escalator, nothing seemed out of the ordinary for him.
Shortly after, he was outside the building talking to two women before walking away. This is the last confirmed recording of him. Sadly, in 2008, Randy perished in a storm before uncovering the truth about his son. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Lars Mittank. In 2014, Mittank and his friends went on vacation at a resort in Varna, Bulgaria.
Everything appeared to be going as planned. That is until one of his many vacations took a turn for the worse.
After a week, they were due to travel home to Germany. However, an injured Mittank couldn't fly. He claimed he was beaten up the night before, but he encouraged the others to go. Left alone, paranoia seemingly took over as he showed strange behavior at the hotel.
He goes on about something being wrong with the hotel, but doesn't go into further detail, acting as if his room was wiretapped and someone is recording his every move.
Mittank was given antibiotics that can cause paranoia and hallucinations. However, the doctor later stated Mittank hadn't taken any. The day after, he went to the airport and met with a doctor to clear him for travel. During the meeting, they were interrupted, and a panicked Mittank ran away.
Lars bolts from the medical clinic, flees the terminal, and runs away from the airport.
He was last seen running through the airport and into a nearby forest. What other cases did we miss? Lauren Spierer, Luke Durbin, Marilyn Bergeron, or someone else? Let us know below.
It could either be significant to us in that that person may have some direct responsibility for the event, or that individual has information that could lead us in a direction.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.